So, for people that don't know a lot about the show, what's Newsies about?
Newsies is about a group of kids, street urchins, orphans, homeless kids, kids without any money or have to work with for their families, who work for a newspaper selling papes. They just hawking out the papes. It's
Papes,
kind of
see,
like
that's the language.
The papers. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, that's good. I like it.
You can't get it out of your brain. But anyways, they sell papers on the street.
Yeah.
For a penny, and that's how they make a living. And
it's based on real events from 1899.
1899. Basically, what happens is they raise the price that the Newsies have to for the Newsies to buy the papers.
Right.
And they can't afford it. They can't really live on that. And so they decided to go on strike against Joseph Pulitzer, who was the big newspaper tycoon back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's this, the story of Newsies just kind of chronicles that event. And
your character?
Yeah, Jack Kelly is kind of...
He's the man.
He's the leader. He's the leader of the strike. It's kind of his idea. He's the one that just kind of says, we're not going to take any of this, and we're going to stand up and fight this. Which is very interesting, because he's kind of not really that kind of character. He's more of a dreamer, romantic, kind of longs to be somewhere else. But I think he finds a purpose in this strike, and it sort of drives him throughout the play.
Had you seen the movie?
Oh, yeah, I grew up with the movie.
You did? Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I did.
So how did being a fan of the movie play into, I don't know, where you are today, here? On Broadway?
You know, I find it, I always, when I was a kid, I used to always, when I acted, I had an acting voice, and it was always like kind of New Yorkish. And I never really understood where it came from until I started doing this show. I was like, I bet it's from watching so much Newsies when I was a kid. Because I went through a couple of VHS tapes of it. It was great for when I was 8 or 9. It was live action. It was boys like being cool, and it was also musical. And kids love musicals. And there were no Disney princesses or anything like that. It was something I could relate to. So
let's talk about the language. You talk about the voice. So there's certain words in there in the story. Papes.
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 Oh yeah.
Give me some other ones. That's good stuff. There's
Palava.
What?
Palava.
Translation?
Palaver, which is like having a conversation with someone.
Oh, okay. All right. So what about oyster? That was
oyster. Oyster. I don't do that one. That one's a little bit Woiled. Yeah. Anything or is oi.
Okay.
You drop all the ings off. So, any R is pretty much just dropped.
So I'm in the show tonight, and I got a line, and my line is, "You really think I could?" Okay, so that's the straight.
Oh, okay.
You really think I could?
So you got the.
Okay.
It does not exist. It kind of just goes straight to a T. So it's like, you really think I could?
You really think I could?
Yeah.
Say it again.
You really think I could?
You really think I could?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. See, that's great. It's more like a D, actually.
All right, that's
good.
A D. That's really helpful.
Well, you're very welcome.
All right. Now, the audience reaction to this show is so enthusiastic, so incredibly intense. Why do you think that is?
Well, first of all, it's like a quintessential musical. You come to see a musical and you expect certain things to happen. And you expect great dancing, great singing, a great story, fun and compelling and energizing, and also, very dramatic at the same time. It has like elements of everything you could ever want from a musical. So it's sort of tailor-made to be an audience, something that audiences will love. And on top of it, we have just an amazing energy with the cast, and the sets are even another character. I mean, it's just a rousing story, and the songs are so soaring and sweeping, and the dancing is so insane. You can't help but just kind of leap to your feet at the end of it, because you're seeing something really spectacular and spectacular in the spectacle sense of the word on the stage.
Again, I'm going to be in the show tonight. Do you have any advice for me?
Yeah, don't look out at the audience, Stay connected with what's going on. Don't try to draw too much attention to yourself. I know you're going to be taller than everybody else. So,
all right, okay.
So blend in.
So be short.
No, blend in.
Okay.
Be a part of the world. Take on the world of all the characters. And I'm interested to see what kind of costume they have you in.
They had to get a special one for me.
Oh, jeez.
It's a little tall.
Yeah.
It's a little long, but
no, I mean,
okay.
I just have fun. I think that's the best advice I can give you.
How much
because
fun do you
everybody has fun on the set.
How much fun are you having right now?
A blast. I mean, it's really a joy to come to work every day, and it's a tough show to do, and it's not a lot of shows that would be this tough. I'd come to work and I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this again. But it's exciting to do it. It's exciting to work hard to get this show, you know, and put it on its feet 8 times a week.
Talk a little bit about what makes the show so tough, because watching it, I can guess.
Well, you know, the hardest thing is vocally, for me at least. You know, it's the accent is so brash and it's so pressed and it's kind of just loud. And if you think of like a New York lower class, like especially in the late 1800s, early 1900s, it's just loud and brash, and so there's a lot of screaming and yelling, and then there's just a lot of high singing, and so vocally it's a marathon, and then on top of it, you're running and jumping and dancing and sweating, and you know, the lights are blaring on you, and add all that on top of, you know, trying to follow the emotional life of your character, especially my character, who goes through some pretty rough stuff, especially towards the end of Act 1. You know, all that put on top of each other 8 times in a row, especially like on a weekend when we do 5 shows in 3 days. It's pretty grueling, but you know, like I said, it's worth it.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Glory be, our King of New York.